Good morning. I am Commander Manoj Kumar. I am the Senior Naval Construction Overseer, a Naval Architect. It's a very important day for all of us. We have just successfully completed the maiden sea trials of our first completely designed and indigenously built aircraft carrier. It's one of the largest warship to be designed and built in the country. And I would also be very proudly saying that about 76% of the component used on board, including the steel, is all indigenous and it's from various Indian industries. The steel used on board is DMR steel, primarily developed by the Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory, Hyderabad, and subsequently manufactured by Steel Authority of India and SR. About 21,000 tons of steel has been used in building this vessel. Subsequently, all the warships which are being built in the country are being built with this indigenous steel. Going to the technical parameters of this aircraft carrier, the ship is about 262 meters length and the width is about 62 meters at the flight deck. The height from the flight deck, that is we call the depth, is about 30 meters. The ship has about 14 decks, close to about a 15-story building. And the steel, just to give a parallel, the steel which has been used can be used for building or manufacturing 3 Eiffel Towers. The area of the flight deck is approximately, say, 2 football fields. About 30 aircrafts can land and be accommodated on board, which includes the fixed wing and the helicopters. There are about 2,300 compartments in the ship and about 1,700 personnel can be accommodated. The ship has got a sophisticated galley or a kitchen which can cook for all the 1,700 to 2,000 personnel on board. We have our own independent, full-fledged, state-of-the-art medical complex which has got operation theatre, dental complex and inpatient treatment complex. See, we have, in the galley specifically, we have the idli making machines, dosa making machines, chapati making machines. They're all indigenous and they're automated. In the sense, that's true. Vikramaditya also has a similar arrangement. About 1,000 chapatis can be cooked in about an hour. This ship has got accommodation facilities for women officers on board and they have got attached washrooms and spaces which are basically earmarked and designed for women officers on board.
Good morning, I'm Lieutenant Commander Kiran. I come from Kerala, I'm basically from Thrissur. And what I'm seeing on board is all the engineering systems, all the freshwater system, main propulsion system, all those comes under me, air conditioning system, all those comes under me. So I am the trial officer or commissioning officer who basically ensures that the ship is built in good quality and all the parameters which we wanted from the shipyard is ensured. So that is my work here. It's been 2 years I'm posted in this unit. I'm posted in Warship Overseeing Team, Kochi. So that is the unit which looks after the main production of the ship. So I've been with this project for 2 years right now. Before that I was on a frontline warship and it is INS Satpura. I am coming directly from there. So I have that knowledge of how the ship works and what are the nitty-gritties of all those things which comes up. So I was posted here because I'm aware of that background. There are like more than 1,500 people will be on board. So that is the number we are talking about. That amount of people has to be on board for months. Most probably like 3 or 4 months or more than that. So this engineering section should ensure that everybody gets water, everybody gets food, everybody can do their routines. So that is the habitability part. That is where life support comes to play. Other than that, it is like a 40,000 ton, more than that, it is a ship of that tonnage. Now we have to move it. You need that powerful engines. And that engines should be able to move more faster than what is expected so that a flight can land on it. So this is the amount of enormity or the amount of work or the power the ship should be having, the endurance the ship should be having, the capability to accommodate that much amount of people. So that is the most layman terms. And you see, this is a big ship. It should be having air conditioning for like 1,500 people. So that is also to be taken care of. And water is basic for human beings. You keep on consuming it, and there is no water from the sea. You have to produce it. So we produce water by ourselves. We desalinate the water using our RO plants, and it can produce 4 or 5 times the amount of water which is already for the people on board. This is the first time in our navy culture. First time a ship goes to sea and do the trials the way it wanted, with every parameters within this limit, and we could achieve the maximum power the ship could achieve. We did it in the first sea trials. That is, it is monsoon right now and it is rough weather there. The ship could endure it, and it performed that well. That is the capability. We as Indians should be proud that in the first CSOT we could take a aircraft carrier to sea, do the trials with full power, and come back. That we should be proud about it, because now you can see only 5 or 6 countries has this aircraft carrier, and we managed to build it, and now it's like gleaming with power. So as an engineer, as a naval personnel, I feel so proud about it. I was very much fascinated about ships, first of all. I studied in Government Engineering College in Kerala, Thrissur. Then when I was there, I was doing mechanical engineering. So this was a core job, and I aimed for it. I got it.
Was it the dream of a mechanical engineer?
Yes, obviously it is a dream for a mechanical engineer. Nobody can think about it. It is such a great achievement. I'll keep it with me forever. First of all, you have to work in the ship. You have to be having physical endurance, a lot of it, because like you are going in 10 or 15 floors above, up and below. You are running around the length of the ship. So it takes so much of physical endurance, first of all. And more than that, I should say there is mental endurance also, because you have to keep this gigantic ship running. So it's an enormous job. I will not say it's stressful, because I am doing it for my country. So I don't feel the stress, but it is there. It is there, but because you are committed to the nation, you are committed to do it, and you have to do it. So that is there. So that stress is there, and it is like this. It is like a living organism. Many things are going on. Many things are interconnected. One thing is interconnected to the other. So in that case, you should be vigilant, and you should be like alert all the time. So you should know what is happening below you, what is happening to a man below you, what is happening to the machinery below you, what are their parameters, are they within the range. All those things has to be in your mind at any time. Even if you are sleeping, somebody tells that there is an alert, you have to get up like that and go see the defect. So as an engineer, it's a challenging job, but I like it.
I am Captain Suraj Purushottam. I am from the warship overseeing team. I am Sea King aircrew and flying the Sea King helicopters, which is a UK built helicopter. Presently, I am with the warship overseeing team, looking after the overseeing the aviation aspects of the aircraft carrier. Actually, this entire deck is going to be prepared completely by the time the ship gets commissioned. It is going to have that anti-friction paint and all the deck markings completed, the trials having been undertaken, the friction test having been done. So the entire deck is going to be a flying area. Those patches are the specific spots at which the helicopter can land at. It's the helipad area of the aircraft carrier. Otherwise, if you see the there are two takeoff runways here, which end up in that ski ramp where the two lines are converging. And there's one landing runway here, which is the white lines that side, from where at which the fighter aircraft will carry out their takeoffs and landings. The aircraft will approach from the aft direction, that is from behind, and come and carry out a arrested recovery. That the type of aircraft that is operated here is a stow bar, that is short takeoff and arrested recovery aircraft, which is the MiG-29, MiG-29K in particular. So they come in from the after the behind part of the ship. There are 3 arrestor wires which are there. There's a tail hook on the aircraft, On one of these wires, the aircraft will trap its trail hook, and it will come from its whatever landing speed that is there to its zero speed recovery. And on the other hand, these two yellow lines which culminate on the ski ramp, that is the area from which the aircraft actually carries out a takeoff from here. And there are two takeoff runways which are there. One is a longer runway which is for the heavier load that you want to carry, and the other is a shorter runway which is for the lighter load that you carry. Yeah, definitely. Whatever, like all over the world, the kind of aircraft that are developed for carrier operations, be it the US Navy or the Russian Navy or the French Navy, from the normal version of the aircraft which they develop for the Air Force, they have to develop a specialized version which can operate from the carriers with the things like I said, a strengthened undercarriage, its ability to be compact and folded. So it is the future aircrafts can also be accommodated into it. It will be either the indigenously built LCAs or the TEDBF or the type of aircraft that is going to be taken in. They can be taken in with the required amount of infrastructural modifications that are required to be done. If at all there is an aircraft which is developed with a larger dimensions node, then depending upon like modification of certain aspects of the ship are possible. And certain aspects, either the modification of the ship is done or the modification of the aircraft is done. So it will be made to fit into the required scheme of operations. Yeah, the aircraft carrier is quite flexible in its operation by means of the complement it carries and by means of the supporting ships that are going to be around it. So both the roles are possible, but what we are looking at in India is more of a power projection. Today, the ability to build a carrier in itself has got a great strategic impact, as well as it shows the infrastructural capability of the country as such. And so what Navy is doing by giving more and more indigenous capabilities to various shipyards is that we are building the industrial capability of various shipyards, and at the same time improving our force and going on with the national theme of being indigenous, independent, and Swadeshi, Atmanirbhar, whatever you want to call it.
See, Cochin Shipyard has now acquired the skill sets of aircraft carrier. As I told you, for repairing all the aircraft carrier, even present Vikramaditya also being repaired by Cochin Shipyard only. And we have the technology with us. And here, for the construction, that is also a different ball game again. We acquired the skill set, full skill sets, the entire people. We have around 8,000 people are working in Cochin Shipyard. We have 1,800 permanent employees, 1,200 fixed time contract employees, and remaining contract workmen. All have got that skill sets learned. These skill sets need to be conserved for the country's growth. So naturally, next aircraft carrier is there in the thought of the government. Naturally, it should come to us. This is what I just wanted to convey. If it's a similar size, we can do it in 5-6 years time. This much time will not be required. But if it's a totally different design, then it is a different time altogether. Yes, we have the skill set for this particular steel also, and this is being preferred by the other countries' defense also. So we will certainly look at foreign defense vessels order. Keeping this, you are aware now that next 2 vessels are certainly there will be demand. For defense sides, we have 16,000 and altogether around 22,000 crores orders right now we have. These particular construction, around 550 firms all over India have participated in the construction. So all these 550 firms will have their own employee strength. So that will definitely contribute. in Kerala itself, I told you, our people, 8,000 people, and there are MSMEs around us. They also contributed. So indirectly, around 12,000 we may be giving outside, and 8,000 here. Out of 8,000, probably 50% is continuously being engaged in this vessel. Plus supporting. Yes, certainly we can. Aviation part, still we may have to go a long way. But remaining part, certainly we can have, because right now the government policy on the Make in India, as per the Make in India policy, now you can buy only from those people who has got at least 80% indigenous content in that. So that means right now some of the foreign content also is there, though we are buying from the Indian. That will all part of Indian manufacturing. So it will be a great boost for the industry.
As you are aware, last week the indigenous aircraft carrier, which will be named as Vikrant, completed its 5-day sea trials, the first sea trials during its construction phase, and its successful completion is a glowing testimonial to Atmanirbhar Bharat. It does not only demonstrate the Indian Navy's capability to design and oversee the construction of the most complex of warships, but also of our shipyards, particularly Kochi shipyard, to execute such a large and complex shipbuilding project. We have achieved 76% indigenization in this ship, which is a very high level of indigenization, through the participation of over 50 Indian public and private sector entities, and the ecosystem that has been developed for the aircraft carrier construction and ship construction in general will enable us to progress to greater levels of indigenization in future projects and realize the ambition of having a truly self-reliant Atmanirbhar India. It is also a happy coincidence that the sea trials of Vikrant coincided with the 60th year of the commission of its illustrious predecessor, the first INS Vikrant, which played a key role in our victory in the Eastern Theatre in the 1971 war, which led to the creation of Bangladesh. And this year is also being celebrated as the Swarnim Vijay Varsh, or the 50th anniversary of our victory in the 1971 war. So this is a happy coincidence that it coincides with that event as well. This event also coincides with the 75th anniversary of our independence, which is being celebrated as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and I think it will add to the jubilation of this celebration as well. In our mind, India can be justifiably proud of this achievement as we join an elite club of countries, just 7 in all, which can design and build aircraft carriers. I would also like to emphasize that the successful first sea trials of this ship is the result of very cohesive teamwork, straight from Naval Headquarters, the Chief of Naval Staff, to the Southern Naval Command, to the various agencies that were involved in the overseeing and the trials of the ship and the training of the crew, the ship's crew themselves, most importantly Cochin Shipyard, the number of ancillary industries which participated in this, and a number of other government agencies and officials which are involved in this project over the last almost 35 years. We would also like to acknowledge the efforts put in by our predecessors who steered this project through various stages over the last 35 years. There are too numerous to name individually, but we like to bow our head in gratitude for all those who were part of this project, which has led to the successful first sea trials and a moment of pride for this country. The Indian Navy is very, very confident that the INS Vikrant, the new Vikrant, will carry forward the golden legacy of its predecessor, the first INS Vikrant, and will write new and even more glorious chapters in India's maritime history. Thank you. Jai Hind. No, you know, the aircraft carrier undertakes a variety of roles, and yes, power projection is one of them. But it is a very versatile platform, so it can be used for a variety of roles, which are well known. So this ship will be the same. It will just add more to the punch of the Indian Navy. Currently, we have only one aircraft carrier. This will make it two, and that means that hopefully there should be one aircraft carrier available at all times, so that we can undertake all the tasks that are required to be undertaken. With this carrier availability, that will be enhanced with the Vikrant coming into service.